beautiful.
Cilantro
And
multiplying garlic over here.
Can't see the garlic. We might be able to see it at the other end.
Multiplying garlic. What?
Yeah.
What is that? Isn't
It's like,
so? Not all garlic is multiplying.
No. It's like this one over here.
And is it ready? It's getting close to ready to harvest, but
well, it's a garlic that if you left it in the ground, it will keep on multiplying from the stem. I have 2 left untouched that have 80 after 14 years
really?
in the ground.
No way.
And pulling up a stalk like that, now that one could command a much higher price, but some of these are so valuable. And
I would like when you harvest these this year. I would like for you to think about what your good buddy Woody in New Braunfels. I grow a lot of garlic, but I don't. I don't have those varieties that you were talking about. I remember you talking about that at.
And then now this was another cover crop of Austrian winter peas with a little bit of cilantro and thistles in here.
Again, just weed eater.
Just weed it down.
You do a lot of weed eating, don't you?
A fair amount, and that's why I wanted to get a higher upgrade, commercial grade. Yeah. And then this is a bed of onions, multiplying onions in
cilantro.
And cilantro. This is my personal onion stock. I have beds that are considered stock beds. That these are bigger onions. Sorry, they're in there.
Oh wow!
Hiding in here. You know, here's another. There's like 5 rows in here. I have no need to harvest all the onions.
And they just keep multiplying.
They keep them longer. I leave them in that clump.
That's like a retirement for you.
Well, yeah.
In a way. How many times they multiply?
So this would get tilled.
HEB could use your supply right now.
No, they're not getting it.
Good for you.
I have no need to sell it.
Good. You know who could use it? Is, for goodness sake, my friendly health food store. They didn't send them their supply yesterday, and they literally told them it's because their big grocery stores need it more than you do.
Yep. And so this is another ryegrass. All right, and this will get stripping and do 3 rows of a special tomato, more than likely blush or yellow Roma, and then peppers in there. That'd be 5 rows of peppers. And
this is really pretty area paddock with your little mulch strip.
We would be under the underpass of the highway.
Oh, dude.
Right here is where we are.
That's why you're so freaking heartbroken about it.
So right. So the gas line people moved the gas line. It was supposed to go through right here. There's more to that than what's being let on. Because I figured they all...
This is the Kinder Morgan gas line?
Kinder Morgan and Mopac, the highway. All right, they knew that this highway and gas line were coming through here in 2011.
Right.
No, 100% certain. So where the blue fencing is, that's where the pipeline's going through. You can sort of see stakes out there. I farm this certified organically, and it only has leeks, green onions, and garlic out here. And then it's very misleading to see these. The county stepped in and said, I can't buy this land because they needed it for the highway.
Utility easement.
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, right, underground water and power lines.
So how much land is it again?
This is 12 acres out here.
Okay. The whole, including your house?
Our field is 5 acres, and this is 12. A different person owns this. So I've been just marching across this field. This year I added in 3 new patches of onions. Another acre right into here in November, early November. This is just, I rake up. They're fun to...
My dog always goes to, when I do stuff like that, he always
Smells it.
Goes to it and digs in it and pulls up grubs, and he's just telling me like, this is a good idea. You should do this more often.
See, now this weed is obnoxious weed. So, I mean,
Noxious,
well,
obnoxious.
it's a bastard cabbage. So, I missed some. I didn't come this way the other day. So this is multiplying onions. All in here.
Are you leasing this property?
Well, yes. Yes.
You have just a good old boy lease on it or something?
Well, yeah, the way those leases work with capital people, you don't say, but you don't have a lease on file with the appraisal district.
Gotcha.
All right, because then they can do value, and so with land around here being $1 million an acre.
And do you officially have an ag exemption?
Yes, on R5, this doctor wants this under ag exemption, and I said, yep, I'll make this all.
And that is helping you, because you've stated a couple times on your Facebook post that being certified organic is helping position you better. Is that correct? For the fight or for protection? If there's a fight, you're on the mat.
Well, because I'm certified organic, they can't pollute the certified organic farm with vehicle emissions.
Okay.
And then the runoff would be a huge problem altogether too, because the drainage of where that water is all going to go, and so it's like, and since I'm using only saved rainwater, now what are you going to do? I'm going to get, it's a crop loss.
Yeah.
It's a total loss. Who wants to live next to a highway?
Yeah.
Some people do, not the way we live here. This is a system. All of these rows, 4 rows, all right, for the past 5 years of growing out in here, these have been pulled and replanted. So I'm harvesting on certain days, and then when I harvest 35 clumps every Thursday, pull up a clump, I break off some and immediately repop it right straight back up in the hole. So this bed has been pulled, all of it out, and replanted of onions, and I still have them all in the same spot. And they're looking just wonderful. Some a little bit bigger because of age.
And do you add nutrients?
Nothing. No.
Don't really need to with onions,
No.
but you need to with tomatoes.
If I started doing other cropping out here, then the deer are going to come in and eat it. So I have deer problems, and I can't. I wanted to fence this, but it's too expensive, and I'm not going to fence it if they're not going to give me
7-foot fence.
Well,
Just
what's the security of that?
Yeah.
Of this.
Right.
So then I have these curious little mounds. This is all soil scraped up, so I have this depression. This will fill up with water, so no water leaves the property. And then this becomes a big earthen mound.
And have you moved all the soil with a shovel?
Shovel, yes. Yes. Yeah.
I've done a bit of that, but not quite that much, too.
But it's also, I'm done as far as creating anything more out here. This has been a working model for, since some of these mounds are I don't want to say they're new, but they've been here for 10, 15 years. But Tatumi squashes. And then on this side, we have these little mounds going all the way down, so when it rains real heavy, this will fill up, cascade down into the next depression, keep on going all the way down the whole length of the property.
Gotcha.
But this creates a huge pool.
You're like the mound builders in Mexico City.
Yeah.
The Aztecs,
Yes,
right?
yes. But this is a big wicking bed, is what it is.
Yeah. Gotcha. Wicking bed with what I've heard called, like on my property, I have a wicking pond. Yours I have a pond because I've only got a half acre, so and I'm trying to pull the water away from my house into that pond for my foundation, and then plant raised beds all around the pond.
I mean, when I came out and when I mapped this in '91 up near the big hoop house, I put out a huge pile of sycamore leaves.
Okay.
And the sycamore leaves cupped upwards, and we had a huge rain, and all of those sycamore leaves were all lined up in neat little, all the high water spots.
Okay.
Those areas where the high water was, that became my trenches.
Okay, right.
All right. So I would scrape this deeper. That went to make these beds on either side higher.
Right.
All over.
So you're just shoveling side to side.
Yep.
You're not moving material far.
No.
You're keeping it close.
And then this becomes, I can backfill this wood chips. All right, you know, if we get a hurricane, well, I really don't want a lot of material in these moats, so to speak, because all of that, you know, what do you do with 10 inches of rain? You better do something with it.
Yeah.
So in this case, here on this farm, it's all trapped in here.
Right. You don't really have an overflow for 10 inches.
No. Well, I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, right. Good point. Good point. Yeah.
So then I just have some curious, like what I call gutter sheets, saving rainwater into these barrels. So some of my zones of water. All right.
So that you don't have to carry water as far.
Well, this is a huge cucumber bed, and then some melons all around. So the water is.
That is so funny, buddy.
Just stupid ass.
I love it.
Sorry to say it that way, but I pride myself on recycling. Right? That's one of the tenets of being a certified organic grower.
Recycle.
Is recycling, and I do a darn good job of it. And I, used to help a lot of low-income people. Hey, how can you do this without a lot of money?
Yeah.
And so, simple. Sure, I could get a pump. Drip irrigation, but I refuse to use
it. It's like Mike Reynolds at the Earth Ships, use tires, use whatever's glass and cans, and when you're trying to build thermal mass, they do a pretty good job of they've got problems, some challenges with the tires off gassing, but still, what else are we going to do with the tires? We certainly have a lot of them. This is interesting.
And sunflowers underneath hay. Or hay on top of sunflowers.
Hay on top of sunflowers.
Some of this, all right, now I do deer hunt. All right. So if you walk real slow, you can't hear that. All right. So when I go to my deer hunting stand, I have these big, huge felt blankets that I roll out all the way, and all summer long the deer hear me walking on wood chips and crunching. Deer season comes, I roll out with my felt blankets and I walk right on that blanket and they can't hear me. Just a crappy little
oh, right over the top of this, where we just walked?
Yeah.
Your felt blankets. Wow. And then you roll them back up?
And then I roll them. Yeah, I got them kind of, I really don't know where in the heck I put them all. They're around here somewhere. So this is all thistle. And the nice thing about doing this is if you do this right before a rain, so now the thistles are somewhat hollow, so I wanted to knock this down so that the water would get inside here and rot this really well and put that water down deeper into the ground.
Nice. And it goes into the root system. The roots start dying.
I mean, I'm not going to dig this.
Right.
All I'm going to do is pop in holes and grow melons right on here under a cover crop of this thistle.
So you do some tilling, but you don't do a lot of tilling.
I don't like to do a lot of tilling.
Yeah.
My tiller, the BCS tiller, will sink right into the ground.
Right.
And it doesn't do it.
You're learning, and I assume you're still learning.
I'm still learning. It's 31 years out here, and I'm still learning. Yes, for sure. This is really.
I love the sound of this.
It has that. I'm not sure I'd walk on the sunflowers. I don't think there's any rattlesnakes in there today.
They're kind of slow right now, aren't they?
So then I have, this is cucumbers, and I put the cages on there, and then they'll crawl up on top of that. This is just the end of a bed that since this is a natural pathway, and I pass through here more, the cucumber will want water more than my potatoes in there, so these will get watered a little bit more.
And you're using the cages laid on their side for the cucumbers to just give them some support.
Yes.
Keep them off the ground. Aerate.
And I'll end up taking some of the cages with the Austrian winter peas.
And it looks like your cucumbers are a little higher.
Yes. Oh yeah.
The other stuff.
Higher. Yes. Oh yeah. This is what I call. There's a number of beds out here. High intensity bed. HIB. Yep.
Okay.
Not HEB.
Right.
Intensity bed. So cucumbers and then Swiss chard to get right on the edge, and then right on the ends will be 2 pepper plants. So I can come to this bed. And then basil's on the backside, and they're not yet. I mean, I'm still early on some of this, but I can come to a high intensity bed and get 4, 5, 6 crops right out of one bed.
Okay.
As far as, it's like if I'm doing this for business, sure, it's nice having long rows of something, but you also have these ends. And so when I started tilling, I noticed that I can't quite get as best as I want on the ends of these beds. So I just developed these high intensity beds.
Interesting.
Here's another one. Cucumbers with some dinosaur kale, but it's not done yet.
Yeah.
All right. And then right behind you is one that is in a stage of, it's not even close to getting ready, but I had to remove these cages, throw them over there, clean up those beds, then I start moving. These are all cages for my tomatoes.
So you use the cages, so it's smaller openings.
Right, this is a great one for blush tomato.
Okay.
The blush should get this wide, push up against there, and it's easy to pick.
Okay.
All right, from the top. You can't put your hand through on the sides.
Okay.
And so it's just I have more specialized cages than I do.
Right. And do you have some fruit production? I mean, I'm sure pears and
oh yes. There used to be about 80 peaches out here, but the peaches are pretty much all gone.
Just from
age.
Yeah.
I'm 62. I really don't want to do. I'm doing my thing.
Peaches are they're kind of hard.
It's a good crop for a younger person.
That's a good way to put it.
This is beans, 2 rows of beans, and then multiplying leeks with some fennel in here, and more fennel. I just grow this variety that will keep on multiplying.
I actually see the beans on top of the soil.
Yeah, I'll have to cover those. And then this is going to be those 2 beds. I got carrots in there in the furthest one. Oh, let's go over to that row. All right. And I got radishes. This is going to be sweet potatoes. There's carrots in here. No seed. This is all for seed stock. All right.
Mustard?
Yeah. Oh, try that. It's going to be spicy, but it's worth the try.
Dang, Tim. Woo! Bam!
But it goes away rather quickly.
Oh, so flavorful.
I don't see. It's a variety of mustard called horned mustard. My preference.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for the tour.
She knows.
We've been we've been out here a while. I can come back though. I'd like to come just to help volunteer and help you do some things. And yeah, you do that. I've worked at JBG before and for their half-day volunteer thing, and good. Yeah, I'll come do that with you for sure because you're closer to me than JBG is.
This is now the hoop house just got The plastic just got removed because this rain was coming and I didn't want to mess up with the rain. I missed the rain inside here.
Isn't chard just magical?
This is beet greens.
Oh, that's beet. Do you have chard?
Yes, as we're getting up, my bigger planting is going to go in still.
Okay.
All right.
Is this mustard also?
Yeah, this is the same mustard, but it's starting to get the little knob on there.
Okay.
All right. I got some inside the house, but like this bottom part, you put a piece of cream cheese on there.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh, and that's better than what you just ate.
Really?
Yes.
So it's like a little boat.
Here.
Cream cheese
You
boat.
see the knob on there?
Yeah.
All right. Here's one even bigger.
And so what's
So I'm just picking, what I'm doing is I'm after these new leaves.
Right.
And then the stem flower for just prettiness in a bundle today.
And then these leaves with the...
That's nothing I can do about that.
Well, what is it?
Right. Somewhat snail damage.
Okay.
Grasshopper, because I had this all covered in here.
Gotcha.
So some of the insects are always alive. I do.
So it's not worried. You don't do any...
I'm not doing leafy greens that are perfect.
Right.
To go. Yeah, I'm not after that.
I mean, you would have to do BT or some other kind of schedule for that, right?
Yeah. And then I got some.
So what is this?
This is, that's arugula. Now we switched over half and
Oh.
half. So I'll do crop rotation. So the arugula.
The arugula has such beautiful blooms.
Yeah. And then so what I'll do is I'll save, it's not quite ready yet, but I'll take these and then the seed heads, all right, cut this off after it dries, and then I'll lay them stripped down, because right behind you where this is bare ground is actually okra in here. And once the okra is up and growing, then I'll lay the cilantro seed down right here.
The arugula seed.
The arugula seed, lay that down, and then I'll get arugula growing underneath the bottom of where the okra is.
And again, you're going from right here to right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're rotating.
I'm doing
Crop rotation, essentially.
lamb's quarters.
That's lamb's quarters.
Yep. I do a lot of it.
And what is that? Is it a
Highly
herb?
nutritious leafy green. Probably one of the most nutritious of all the leafy greens we can
No
grow.
kidding.
Yeah. And so I've been experimenting on trying to grow more of it.
What is this guy?
This is blue Alabama collard green.
Beautiful.
Oh,
What a great color.
You can eat the snap off the top. I mean, it's
What a great
it's
color.
gonna taste just like broccoli. I
Mm.
mean, you wouldn't know that it's not broccoli.
I mean, it has a little different flavor, but I see what you mean.
And then here's broccoli right behind there. So go ahead and do your broccoli.
Mm.
Definitely important.
Mm-hmm.
See, now you have some chard in here, and then you have chard over another little spot.
And my chard is just, I can't tell you, it loves me. It's so prolific. It grows year round. Like, I don't even have to replant it. It just like...
See, mine I have very difficult time trying to grow because
No
I'm
kidding.
doing so little watering to it. I don't generally get it through the summertime. So I just do.
I don't water mine that much. You know what I've, and I don't know if, I mean, imagine me if I could possibly teach you something, but like mine are real tight. And they're just, it's but yes, and I don't hardly ever have to water it. I think it helps shade itself.
Well,
and they grow really well tightly together for some reason.
I know out in the field where there's big stands of cilantro, all right, where the cilantro grows, the Swiss chard will last longer in some of those beds.
Because there's more shade and more, maybe more insulation.
Let's hope that is a yes.
All right, let's get you back to your dinner and your.
So I'll put that tray, and then we'll get peppers and eggplant.
We're gonna go get the peppers. This is Tim
Yes.
Miller of Millburger Farms. This is the Earth Riparian. You too can be an Earth Riparian.
Millburg Farm.
Millburg, not Millburgers. And that is
That's
your
down
wife's
Berghammer is her last name.
And Miller. Thank you so much, Mr. Miller.